I did 38 years in the Navy, 20 of them at sea, so every 2 years I sort of changed jobs as I progressed. I do about 3 or 4 different networking groups, and I find it's the best way. I prefer the whites of the eyes. Everybody has loads of contacts, and when you get to my age, you know, your phone and your computer, etc., is absolutely full of them.
Hello and welcome to this next edition of Fishers on the Case. This is the podcast where we talk to legal professionals, business owners and industry experts about their lives and careers. My name is Amanda Payne. I'm the host of Fishers on the Case and CEO of Fishers Solicitors based in Ashby, Derby and Tamworth. In today's episode, I'm talking to Simon. Simon is from the Utility Warehouse. Welcome, Simon.
Thank you very much. Nice to be here.
And thank you for joining us. So, as I was just saying there at our introduction, we like to go back to the very start.
Okay.
So, when you were leaving school, sort of around the age of 16, 18, what did you want to do? What did you want to be?
When I left school, I either wanted to be an architect or join the Navy.
Yes.
Unfortunately, my careers master was more into rugby and things like that than actually offering career advice.
Oh dear.
He was also boss of our trainer for the rugby team, and if you played rugby, you were fine, which I did, so I was lucky. In terms of career advice, he didn't tell me that doing history, British Constitution, and art were not the best A levels if you wanted to be an architect.
Oh.
So you have to be a little bit more technical than that. So I joined the Navy, which the Navy runs in the family anyway. So.
Oh, does it? What, father? Mother,
father? My father was actually in the army, but my brother was in the Navy and relatives, you know.
So you knew a little bit about it then?
I knew a little bit about it, so.
Okay. And where did you do your training, your Navy training?
At Dartmouth in Devon is the Naval College.
Yep.
And then you move around as you progress through your career. You do lots of training in different places. So Dartmouth in Devon, Portsmouth, Plymouth, Scotland, etc. Yeah.
So how long is the training in the Navy before you go out on a?
It depends what you're doing. Your initial training at Dartmouth, it's a bit like a school in a way.
Yeah.
It's sort of school terms, and you spend sort of a year and a half there. And then you go out on a training ship, where we were unlucky enough to have to go out to the West Indies and South America, etc., and travel around there. It was awful, but we struggled through it.
And what was your role on the boats?
It changed. I did 38 years in the Navy, 20 of them at sea. So every 2 years I sort of changed jobs as I progressed. You know, got promoted, etc. Up the food chain, if you like.
What was the highest rank you reached then?
Commander, which people tend not to know. They tend to know the army rank, which is equivalent to lieutenant colonel.
Okay. Yeah. Do you miss it?
I'd do it all again if I could. Yes. Not sure if my body would, but I would.
Yeah. So what happened as you approached the end of your career in the Navy and you moved out onto Civvy Street? What was next?
I was looking at quite a few options. Although I'd spent when I left the first time in 1997, I was still obviously relatively young, and I had a few options. Yeah. And actually, I went to work for my brother in a defence consultancy firm, so that was quite nice, and a couple of other jobs. But then I actually got not called back in, but I was asked to come back in and help with infrastructure projects. So if you remember, I said at the beginning I wanted to be an architect.
Yeah.
This wasn't the same as architecture, but I was involved project managing the rebuilding of military sites. So it's sort of joined up the two loves of my life, which was the Navy and architecture. Oh. And I went back into that, doing that in about 2004, and eventually retired for the second and last time in December 2020. So 5 years ago.
Mm-hmm. So is that when you found Utility Warehouse at that point, or? No,
actually before then. As I say, I retired in 2020.
Yeah.
But in 2015, I met somebody networking here. In fact, in what's the name of the hotel that's been rebuilt?
The Royal Hotel.
The Royal Hotel. There was a networking event in there, and I met somebody there in 2015 who suggested this, and I knew that I wanted to and needed to, for lots of normal family reasons. You know, sort of earn some money.
Yeah.
And it sounded like a great idea. You know, be my own boss. You know, work my own hours, etc.
Yeah. Gives you flexibility
and help people. Because one of the things I had been doing outside of Utility Warehouse was raising money for mainly military charities, because one of the projects I was involved in was the new rehabilitation centre at Stamford Hall near Loughborough. I was one of the project managers there, and raising money for those who'd suffered injuries was sort of key to my heart. So I did the London Marathon, a few half marathons and things like that to do that. And I also raised money for prostate cancer, because I'm a prostate cancer survivor, if you like. And whenever I get the chance, I tend to hijack meetings at the end and say, I talk to the ladies there and say, talk to your man and get him to go and have a check.
It's very important, of course. So is Utility Warehouse franchised? Is it a franchise?
I don't think so. We're all in the way it works.
Independent.
We're all independent partners. Some of us at some stage, I'm not at that stage yet, perhaps turn themselves into limited companies or whatever, but it's not a franchise as such. So we're there, we're authorised, we're registered with Ofcom, Ofgen, have an ID card, etc. And we work in that vein. We're our own boss. There's nobody kicking us up the bottom to reach any sort of targets or stuff. It's up to us what we put in and therefore what we get out of it.
Okay. So how do you meet people to help them then? Just through networking groups, is it, or
through networking,
advertising? Networking,
and obviously initially your contacts. Everybody has loads of contacts, and when you get to my age, your phone and your computer, etc., is absolutely full of them. So if you want to, you've got to treat it as a business, not as a hobby. If you treat it as a hobby, it'll be fun and enjoyable. But part of the reason we're in business is to gain an income, a second income in this case. If you treat it as a business, you can actually do quite well out of it in the same time as helping people, minimise their bills. So it's actually satisfying to do it.
Yeah. So you assess their current bills, and then you work out what they could save by moving to a different provider. Is that in essence how it works?
In essence, that's slightly simplistic. I don't think that.
No, you tell me. I'm interested to know how it works.
But you tend to try and build a relationship with people. You asked me how I meet people.
Yeah.
And this sort of ties in, of course, with Fishers, is networking. I go to the Ashby Connect one virtually every month. I've been doing that for about 3 years now, I think. I actually have my own networking group in Donisthorpe, which sadly is beginning to die out as people are moving on. But somebody there in the early days said, "Oh, why don't you go to Ashby Connect?" And I said, "I'd never heard of it." And so I've started going to that.
Yeah. And you found that beneficial?
Very beneficial. It's not the only networking one. I do about 3 or 4 different networking groups, one in Rugeley, one here, and so on. And I find it's the best way. I prefer the whites of the eyes rather than social media and email. I know I'm an older person, but despite that, especially doing what I do I think it's got to be a face-to-face relationship. Indeed, earlier on today, I was having a chat explaining this over the phone, and this, as it happened in this case, to somebody who was interested in it. And it's not a hard sell. It's just explaining there is a better way to spend the money, sadly, that we all have to spend. It's much easier. It's invariably a lot cheaper. And it's easier also because the customer service is very good, but with the added USP, if you like, that Utility Warehouse has partners who look after you. So, for example, if you were to become a customer under me, not only would you have the support of customer services, but if you were busy in your day job, etc., and you had a problems do arise, you could WhatsApp me, text me, phone me, or whatever, and I could try and find out for you. And we look after our customers. We do bill reviews. So I've got customers going back 10 years now, and I try and talk to them at least once a year to make sure that they're still on the best possible tariffs for energy or broadband or whatever it might be. And if you do that correctly, they're very happy customers, and that's mutual benefit. I love mutual benefit. You're helping them. They're therefore happy with the service, happy with the price, etc. And I earn from it too.
Yeah. Yeah. Brilliant. So you operate as a sole trader then?
I operate as a sole trader, yes.
Yeah, okay, fine. At that time when you set up your sort of sole tradership, you didn't need to consult a law firm or an accountant or anything like that. Did you have knowledge of how to run a business and any terms of business that might have been needed, or?
The answer to both those questions is no. I didn't need. I mean that in the right way. No,
Yes,
in that I didn't need advice.
Yeah.
And no, I didn't know what. No, I didn't know what to do. One of the advantages we have, I mean, in my networking, as I said, I'm connected to with Ashby Connect, with
Yes.
FSB, with Find a Biz, and
Okay.
another one called
Lots of
Cuckoo,
organised.
etc.
Yes.
But a lot of them, fantastic advice they provide and support and legal advice, etc. Most of that we don't actually need because it's all supplied to us. So all the work I
Yeah.
do, my public liability is covered, all the training
Okay.
is covered, the websites are covered, etc. So that, and the support is there not only from the company itself, but from the individual partners, because we don't fight amongst each other. We don't try and steal other people's sort of.
Yes.
We all operate nationwide.
Yes.
But we don't steal
Yeah.
other people's customers.
Yeah.
It's a very, most of us are very ethical. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that's good. So, what do you do in your downtime when you're not working? What do you enjoy doing?
I've got a cycling club, and
Wow.
it sounds very grand. There's about 5 of us who theoretically cycle every Thursday and Sunday. We haven't cycled on a Thursday for about a year now, and I keep missing the Sunday ones at the moment. And we go for about a 10 to 20 mile cycle. It always has to involve a stop at somewhere to get a bacon butty or a snack halfway through, which is essential for it.
Yeah.
I volunteer at Moira Furnace just down the road.
Oh, yes.
Been doing that for, I think, a third year or so at the moment. Helping out there, cutting the grass, emptying the bins, but mainly I drive the boat there. I'm sure you're aware there's a little canal there.
Yes, yeah.
And in the summer months, we do little trips for the kids and families, so I enjoy doing that. But I'm also in the second year of volunteering at the National Memorial Arboretum, which I absolutely love.
Yeah.
Looking after the visitors, giving talks on various things about mutineers who were shot at dawn, or the Far East prisoners of the war, things like that.
Yeah.
So I thoroughly enjoy that. And I've just opened a sort of a good can of worms in suggesting that although the NMA has got about 450 memorials there to lots of parts of the forces and civilian organisations, there's nothing there commemorating what the Navy and Royal Marines did in Hong Kong. And one of my last jobs was I was in charge of the Navy in Hong Kong. So I contacted Hong Kong and said, if I was to do this, do you fancy it?
Yeah.
And then sort of basically oversimplification, got a response then saying, yep, we'll fund it. So I'm now I'm in the process of trying to commission a sculpture to be put in the NMA commemorating, the Navy and Royal Marines in Hong Kong, which is turning out to be a long process.
Yeah.
But it's
Gosh, you sound
taken up my time. Yeah.
You definitely sound very busy. What sort of gives you the most pleasure then about your job and what you do? Is it being able to help other people?
It genuinely is. I mean, it goes back to the time pre-UW, if you like, when it was raising money, because my last naval job was on the project team to build the new rehabilitation centre at Stamford Hall outside Loughborough, which replaced the one in London called Headley Court, which you may or may not have heard of.
No, not heard
but
of
the one in outside Loughborough is a sort of world standard for looking after servicemen and women. And although it's not a charity itself, there is a charity there, but you need to raise money to help support the patients who are there.
Yeah.
And doing that sort of thing I did the Lichfield 10K a few times. I did the London Marathon and things like that. Just any events you can think of, just to support that. And it's a great pleasure when you can see in that case, I don't necessarily see what I've done because I'm not a medical person myself, but you can see that the support is getting through to the patients. And I genuinely feel the same way about when I'm doing my utility warehouse business, and can say, look, guys, there is a better way to spend less money and spend less of your time doing it. Spend your time looking after your family, climbing mountains or whatever it might be. Don't waste time trying to sort out what is a boring subject, utilities.
All needed, though. All needed. So, how would you describe Fishers in 3 words?
Impressive, very supportive of us. A third word. I haven't had to use you for any
Well,
services.
That's probably a good sign.
That's probably a good
That
sign.
means you're not in any trouble.
I'm not in any trouble that I'm aware
You
of.
need a lawyer. That's good.
But no, it's genuinely impressive to see an organisation supporting local businesses.
Yeah.
I don't know how long you've been doing it, but I'd say I think I'm on at least year 2, if not year 3, of coming.
You've probably been with us from the start then. Yeah. 3 years for Ashby Connect. And about 200 years in Ashby. So.
Yeah. Oh right. Okay.
Well,
every day's a school day. I've learned something
well
new.
Rooted into the town.
Yeah.
Yes. Which is lovely.
And it's probably as another networking group I've just joined is very, very good as well. Slightly different format, but I think Ashby Connect and that one are my 2 sort of main ones.
Yes.
I go to another couple of sort of very relaxed ones, just sitting down in a coffee shop over a coffee. But that's the way I like to do it. Despite my military background, I don't like networking that is too structured. I like the ability to go at my own pace.
Yeah.
Get to know people. And it seems to work because all the networking events I've been to have generated business for me.
Yeah.
So, and that was, as I said before, that's one reason we're there, isn't it?
Yeah,
to build our businesses.
Yeah. So when you see your customers, do you see them at home? Do they come to you? Do you meet in a coffee shop? Is it Zooms and phones or a combination of everything? You know, you said you like to meet people in person, didn't you? So how does that happen?
All of the above, if you
all
like.
Of them,
UW was very impressive when COVID happened. And if you remember, I know that's a while ago now, 2020, when we all got locked away. But their support centre is in London, so it's a UK-based support centre and award-winning. It's very, very good. But when COVID happened, very, very quickly, it sent its staff home to comply with all the rules, provided them with the necessary technology, and there was a very smooth transfer into making sure that we could do our stuff online.
Yeah.
So as I said, I had an interview earlier on today, and that was done online where we connected our computers together, and I did a presentation for this chap who I met at another networking group. I also do like doing it face to face. It depends. It depends on your diary and the time you've got. Obviously, doing it face to face, you've got to travel somewhere and you've got to meet up, and the technology might not work, etc. I do prefer it face to face, but a lot of the time we're very well set up to do it remotely as well. Yeah.
Felt Fishers were the same at the beginning of COVID. Yeah. We had a nice smooth transition to be able to work from home. Yeah. Made such a difference. It definitely did. So I've asked you a few questions. Is there anything that you want to ask about me or ask about Fishers? Anything you're not sure of?
To be fair, I think at the Ashby Connect meetings, there's invariably a guest speaker, and
there is, yes.
Next month it's Mark Harris again, who I'm good friends with. We go to the same groups and stuff. So I think he traditionally always does the November.
The Christmas one.
The Christmas one.
It's going to be our Christmas one, the next one,
But I can't remember if I've actually heard you guys yourselves just giving a presentation showing the breadth of what you do.
We've done a couple of question and answer sessions. Perhaps
I have been to one of those.
Yeah. So that's sort of probably told some people a little bit more about what we do. But we're just mainstream high street practice really. We don't do any criminal. We don't do any personal injury. We don't do any immigration. Yeah. But do wills, probate, tax trusts, moving home, commercial property, business, employment, divorce, children. So we do a lot. Oh, God. We do a lot.
Yes.
Yeah. But some areas of law we just don't do at all.
Yeah, and as I said before, and I'm not just saying that because I'm sat here, but it does seem to be impressive how well we're supported, and even when we're standing around at your meetings at the beaches, isn't it? Yeah. It often comes up in conversation, along with telling ourselves how wonderful we are in our own jobs, that we really like the event. I mean, it's invariably very well attended. There's normally probably 50, 60, even in the quiet months, the summer months when everybody theoretically is on holiday. there's always a good turnout.
Yeah, there's always people to talk to, isn't it?
Yeah.
Okay.
And now we've learned how to open the windows. I did last summer, maybe because I need to lose some weight as well. But it got very hot in there, and I was trying to open windows, but I'm sure there was an alarm on it, so I didn't dare open it. But yeah, so yeah.
So if anybody who's seen and heard us today is interested in getting in touch with you to take advantage of what you can offer, what's the best way of them to get in touch with you? Is it website, phone number?
It's my phone number. I do have a Facebook page.
Oh, okay.
Although, as I've already sort of intimated, I'm not brilliant at the social media bit, and both my Facebook and my LinkedIn page need to be updated. But it does have my contact details on there. I don't do Instagram and TikTok and all the others. I've decided that's all I need to do, and I've had a lot of support again from Mark Harris, who's really helped me with that. But that's the best way to do it. It's a personal email address. I haven't just used another one, and mobile phone. So
they'll easily find you.
They'll easily find me. Yes.
Brilliant. Well, thank you very much, Simon, for joining us today. It's been lovely to find out about your career.
Thank you.
And how you can help people. Thank you very much.
No, thank you. Thank you for your time.